Hello, everybody. It is Amber Kivitz here. I am your leader in the world of holistic wellness, recovery, restoration with Lifepro, and I am streaming live with you today on Facebook and YouTube from a different location. I'm actually traveling this week. A few are in the area of Indiana. I'm originally from Indiana, and that's where I'm at now, but I'm in Notre Dame country, which is in South Bend, Indiana. And so today I am streaming from a porch out in wonderful nature, part of the detox and just stress relief process. And I'm not wearing my normal everyday gear. I'm wearing my normal casual clothes if I'm not working. So you're getting a different side of me today. And because I am in Notre Dame country, I traveled with some of my favorite portable devices, which I'm going to be sharing with you today. And but today is about secrets to the ultimate detox. We've been covering some of these tips, tricks, and secrets for the last month or so. Um, the month of November is a lot about gratitude and giving back and just, having thanks. And so, but it's also a time in which we are transitioning from one season to another, getting ready for one of the busiest seasons of the year for many of you, which is our holiday season. And we're getting together with families and friends and getting to the end of the year and getting ready to jumpstart into a new year. So with all of that comes a lot of stress. And so, how we do one thing is how we do a lot of things. So I wanted to share with you, in continuation of what we started over the last couple of weeks, the whole idea of detox and using the lymphatic system the way it's created to be utilized as our garbage disposal system, how we can maximize the way that our systems work so that we can truly live our best self in an optimal, thriving vehicle, our body, and through mind, body, and spirit. So that's what I'm here for today. And today is just to add on to what we've already covered. If you haven't seen any of these special episodes that I've done in weeks past, if you go onto our YouTube channel or onto our Facebook page, you'll find all the past episodes about what are the what are the secret triggers to stress? What are the 9 signs that your body is telling you that you need to look more into optimizing your detox process or enhancing your parasympathetic nervous system? Because our parasympathetic nervous system is the system that is responsible for cellular regeneration, restoration, recovery, digestion, and being able to sleep well, which in turn helps our brain to regenerate its cells and gives us opportunity to just truly be the best version of ourselves possible in a time in which a lot of additional stressors are thrown into our life that we're not in control over, and understanding how it actually affects us in our overall being. So 9 stressors of our body that's telling us that something is wrong, how the lymphatic system is put together, the lymph nodes, the valves or the channels in which our lymphatic system works in order to remove the stuff out of our system that shouldn't belong in our system. The longer that those stressors or those pollutants or those cells or chemicals, whatever it is that we have introduced into our system, including our thoughts, however those wreak havoc on our system, some of those things can stay in our system, in our body, in our tissues for days, weeks, months, years, decades, and in generations. Truly, now they're able to prove that genetic mutation and modulation can happen from the generation of your past. In other words, if your mother was stressed and dealing with autoimmune symptoms or going through a lot of challenges when you were being carried, then you have the potential to carry a lot of those gene representations forward into your own body, even if you are living a good life as a way of what you feel is a good life. There is a potential that if there's too much stress in your life, you can flip the switch in your DNA and where the mitochondria hold all of that, and you can actually change your overall health for not such a good desirable outcome just based on what has been passed on to you from generations of the past. So why does it matter? Well, because if you are, if you are a parent, or if you're wanting to become a parent and you're going to be involved in carrying a child, or you are responsible for a child in your home, or fostering, or you get to mentor, you get to coach, you get to teach. You have the power to being responsible for positive or negative genetic modulation mutation. And a lot of what we do here at Lifepro gives us the opportunity to help in reversing of uh, those not so desirable changes in the cellular system. It also gives us an opportunity in prevention and in trying to provide the environment. We can't treat or cure a lot of disease that is present in our systems, but we can make a difference in educating you as to how you can use these products at home so that you don't have to go to a therapist, you don't have to go to a medical facility, you don't have to see professionals as your finances allow, so that you can give your body the love and the information and energy that it needs, naturally speaking, in order to be able to heal itself, regenerate itself, and thrive in days yet to come. So it all starts right here, right now. So that's what I'm here for today, is just continuing to give you secrets to success in providing an optimal environment for your body to being able to live at optimal capacity with what you got for today. Some days we don't have a lot. Some days we wish we had more. Some days we got a lot. Life is great. And other days we just don't even know what's there. So I want to be able to share with you just things that you can be thinking about, changes that you can be making that will make a difference in the longevity of your life and how you carry that forward with your loved ones at home and those that you interact with, because we truly all, the way that we electrically connect, emotionally connect with each other, we have the ability through the way that our connective tissue, the way that our brain functions, the way that our hormones are released, the way that our skin is a detox organ. We have the ability to pass on and transfer certain energies to other people, whether it's the good, the bad, the ugly, or the optimal. So you just have to be aware of that. There's a saying that you become you become influenced and transitioning into the person that you become based on the influence that you surround yourself with. The top five, whether that is television, whether that is people, whether that is music, whether that is education, resources, spirit, whatever you surround yourself with, whatever you're feeding your mind, is how you start to transform, think, act, behave, and become. So that's been truly proven in evidence through hormone, through thoughts, through MRIs and CTs of the brain. There's all kinds of research that has been coming forward that we now have access to. And I'm a certified licensed medical professional working in a specialty niche of instant pain relief. So I work with people and cater to people who are in pain. And that is in reference to any kind of pain. And so part of my practice is teaching them how to process their thinking, their thoughts, how to truly give their body an opportunity to get ahead instead of continuing to fall behind. And I don't use pills or medication to doing that. I use all natural, holistic modalities, methods, and systems in order to be able to educate my clients so that they can carry on those habits at home, because I only have control over those people when they're in my practice. And that's only, a couple hours every once in a great while, as opposed to every day. So, and how you do one thing in a lot of ways is how you do a lot of things. So if you're interested in going back and reflecting on some of the past episodes with what I've covered in the past about how the lymphatic system works, how we can tap into the big six, those are basically the 6 zones of the lymphatic system where our lymph nodes are dominant, how we can clear those blockages out so that we can actually eliminate the junk in the system. Dr. Perry Nicholson is a physician specialist in pain management. If you go to Stop Chasing Pain, he is well known for the big 6, which is based on the lymphatic system. And he learned a lot of that through his own survival and his own journey after being diagnosed with some things that he wasn't willing to face the colors on in the Western medicine model. So he had to find a different way in order to find relief and healing, as opposed to what he was told he was going to have to settle for. You don't have to settle for anything. You are in control over how your life moves forward from a mind, body, spirit standpoint. And doctors are great resources, and the literature and the research and the data, the clinical information that we have is great when it comes to being informed on how to make a decision. But at the end of the day, you are the one who gets to make the decision on what you do with your life. And you have the decision whether you fire a doctor or you fire a medical practice or you like reach out in finding out what works for you, because you are 1 in a million chance of being here. And why do I say that? Well, it's 1 in a million that sperm meets with egg creates an igniting opportunity of you being able to develop, being born, and here we are. 1 in a million chance. And I can tell you, I have worked with so many different people on this planet, and I've never met one human who has 2 feet that are the same, and I've never met two identical twins that are built the same, because we are emotional beings and our body changes its pharmacology, its biomechanics, how our body shapes and structures itself based truly off of how our thinking process happened. So that is something that you probably should be aware of. Anyhow, secrets to the ultimate detox. When you are traveling and on the go, which is me this weekend, through the end of this week, I'm on the go. So I don't have access to my own bed. I don't have access to my own gadgets at home. I don't have control over my temperature environment. I don't have control over smells that are around me necessarily. I don't have control over, what the weather is necessarily when I'm traveling. What I do have control over is what I take with me and how I use my resources around me in order to give my body a better chance into helping itself. Thankfully, today I'm not at altitude, which means I'm at regular level in Indiana. Next Wednesday, I'll be flying out to Whitefish, Montana, which is 30 minutes south of Glacier National Park, in which I will be traveling a total of 9 hours in order to get there. And I will be at altitude, which means my body is going to be very angry with me for about 3 or 4 days, because it has to acclimate at barometric pressure at an altitude increased level. And my cells are not used to that. My respiration will change. My heart rate will change. My brain will change. I will get headaches. I will blow up and gain weight. I will retain fluid. I will be on a 3-hour time change. I don't have control over a lot of that, but I do have control over how I adjust and adapt to it. And then I got to fly back home, 3-hour time difference, and then come back to a different level of altitude and then readapt and adjust again. So those of you who are traveling often, or if you're traveling for the first time, going to altitude or going to some different time changes, it changes the body drastically. And even though cabin pressures are maintained in flight, your body is still at a different altitude than what it is when we're solid on ground. So our body on a cellular level changes, our circulation changes, our fluids change viscosity when we are at different levels on planet Earth. And so you have to give yourself the resources possible in order to give your chance adaptation and being able to adjust so it doesn't make you sick and autoimmune kicking in or being a trigger. So that was a lot to unload really quick. But again, if you're wanting more information on the 9 signs that your body needs enhanced detox, or it needs a little help, it's like screaming, help me, I can't keep up anymore. There are 9 signs of that. There are silent triggers that cause more problems in our body from a stress management standpoint that most people probably don't even realize are triggers. And then our lymphatic system, there are lymph nodes strategically placed throughout our body to pump and move fluid into these little nodes in which they extract that fluid and then they expel it through bowels, urination, our skin, sweat, through our mouth, through a lot of different ways in which it eliminates the stuff out of our system. And there are different responses: itching, rash, exhaustion, irritability. There's all different signs that your body is trying to detox once you start triggering that response system. And so you also need to be aware of that, because if you're using one of our vibration plates, a lot of people are getting on them for the first time and are saying, wow, I think the vibration plate injured me or caused me more problems. Here's what you have to remember. We are not going to put a machine in your home that has the ability to cause harm on a significant level, or on any level for that matter, it can be the trigger of sending you over the edge because you're already so inflamed and you don't even know it. And it's breaking loose some of that nasty stuff that's in your system that needs to get out of your system. But it goes into a state of, wait a second, what do we do with all this stuff? Because we didn't even know it was stored here because it was hibernating. And if it's not active and if it's hibernating, it has the potential to mutate into what we know as autoimmune disease or cancer. That's what causes that. And it changes the hormones. So we have to make sure that we understand that our products, our Lifepro vibration plates, are not powerful enough to cause some of these challenges that you might be experiencing simply because you're not used to having that much stuff free flowing in your system. But the problem is, it has taken weeks, days, months, decades for you to store all of these nasty things in your system, and you don't even know it's there until you start to feel like crap because it takes over, and you have to get it out somehow, or it will cause problems in your system over time, and then your system can't catch up. And the older that we get, the harder it is for our system to catch up with recovery and regeneration. So that's when we get a cancer diagnosis. That's when we get a hormonal imbalance. That's when we get weight gain. That's when we get a little more swollen and fluffy. That's when we have brain fog, or we just can't eat certain things, or we can't use the bathroom the same way. Those are ways that our body is saying, I am full of crap and we got to get rid of it. But you're going to have to work on a one-on-one basis, meaning what I'm telling you is not going to work for everybody exactly as I'm telling you. And what works for me is definitely going to work very differently for somebody who is just getting started. I've been with Lifepro since 2019, and my journey started in my, I was 40 years old when I had a total hysterectomy. I'm 47 now. And at 40 years old, my body, after having parts removed and after having my system in absolute shock, said, nope, we're not going anywhere else. We are grounding you and we're going to make you feel like crap so you can't go anywhere. And I did. I had immense pain in my body for months. And the doctors told me I was nuts because it wasn't their fault. They're not to blame for surgically removing parts of my body, stitching me back up and sending me on my way. And you don't need any more help. You don't need hormone replacement therapy. You don't need pelvic floor therapy. You don't need to know about your vagus nerve. I've been paid. You're discharged. You're not bleeding. You're stitched up. Incision is healing. You're on your own. Adios. That's basically what happened. But I wasn't okay. My body was in a state of absolute shock. And I was losing my mind thinking that there was something really wrong with me that I couldn't get help for until I found Lifepro. And Lifepro is truly, after going through multiple doctors, going through pelvic floor therapy, going through chiropractor, and being a medical professional myself, I truly was at the end of my rope and wasn't quite sure what to do. Long behold, Lifepro sent me a vibration plate. I stood on it with no videos on YouTube. I was one of the first. There's no information out there. And I just took a chance. And I had fibromyalgia at the time that was flared up. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia in 2005 after a motor vehicle accident, leaving me with 8 spinal injuries and head trauma. Had to learn to walk normal again from that accident after multiple doctors gave me 23 pills a day and said, just take the pill and take rest. Like, don't move. Like you have these spinal injuries and you're too young to operate on. So we just need you to listen to what we're telling you, while they're getting money on the back end of it. So no, pound sand, I'm firing you. And I did. I fired all of them. And I hired one of the top Asian doctors in the world to teach me what I needed to know, because I was 1 month away from dialysis. I was dying and the doctors were killing me. So it is up to you to be in charge of your own health and wellness journey. It is up to you to do research as to what works best for you and to share what's working for you, not to advise others to do the same thing that you're doing because it works for you, but to share with others as to how it's changing your life. And through little tweaks and applications, other people might be able to take what you have learned or what I'm sharing with you from my own journey and from the evidence of being a licensed certified medical professional in the world of pain management, and letting you make informed decisions about yourself. So as you find yourself on our Lifepro VIP Facebook group, you're going to find so many amazing stories of how our people, our consumers, have used our products with the guidance and the recommendations and the experience that we as experts have and working with them and tweaking little things along the journey, it's restoring. We've got people who have had MS who are in remission. We've got people who have been fully blown diagnosed with osteoporosis and have been advised to take regular medication the rest of their life because of this, that are not medicated and have no longer are showing up with osteoporosis in their scans, like they're completely healed. And doctors don't understand it because they're pharmaceutical based and they're staying in their zone. That's what they're doing. They get paid to stay in their zone. And there's just too much information to know what to do with it and how to handle it. So what I want you to be aware of, you have to take responsibility for what works for you. And just because it works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for somebody else. And just because it did not work for you, does not mean it won't work for somebody else. So just be careful, have compassion, have empathy, and be ready for some changes on the other side of going through detox and trying to enhance how your system works better as we go through sickness and procedures and trauma and stress. There are all kinds of things that cause our body to stop working the way that it's supposed to work. And so we have to, and what works for you now will not necessarily work for you in years to come. That's something I have learned over the last 25 years being in the health wellness business is I have tried diets time and time again. I have tried prescriptions time and time again in which it worked. And then all of a sudden it doesn't work. And why is that? Because our body is never going to be the same again. It changes all the time. And so what used to work, the brain says, nope, not recognizing it. And so it doesn't work. And then we give it something different we've never tried before. And it's like, wait a second, this is exciting. Okay, yeah, let's try that. The brain will allow you to use it. And then it starts making these transformations and it works. So I wanted to, just make sure that we're aware of that out on the forefront, because so many things can, our life is very personal. Our health is very personal. A lot of you are very private, and you don't want to share what's working for you, and that's okay. And some of you might be offended by some of the comments you might read in our community groups, and that's okay. You have the right to do that. But just remember that not all things work for all of us, and we have to microdose certain things. We have to try different combinations of things, just based on the information that we're giving you, the facts and the evidence, the data, the medical evidence that the scientists are researching, but also what we're learning from each and every one of you that is not being researched in the medical community, but it's working for you. That's how we find out about it. And that's what changes the world. So don't be afraid to share, because we love knowing that your life is getting better. And we also like to know if it's not getting better because of recommendations or products that you're trying that you expected an outcome and it didn't happen. So anyhow, I have a couple of devices behind me that I'm going to share with you today. When it comes to detox, the process of detox is different for everybody. And so I have this new vibration plate. It's called the Cosmo Plate. And this is a very unique device that we just came out with this. It is very light. That's why I traveled with it on this trip. It's only 16 pounds. However, it has a weight capacity of 220 pounds. So if you're over 220 pounds, or you're on the edge, you're 210 and you might gain some weight over the holidays, this is not the plate for you. But if you've got children at home, you have pets, these work great for pets. If you've got pets that have arthritis or are having challenges, pets enjoy sitting on these, and the vibration of this works to help pets as much as it helps to enhance our cellular health. So these are good for pets in low doses. But anyway, this is the Cosmo Plate. It is a Bluetooth oriented plate, so you can connect to it. Those of you that already have it, this is your device code. So when you go to turn it on, it'll pull up Bluetooth on your phone. This is the code that you're looking for. And when you tap join, you'll be able to play your phone, music, Amber in the background, Roseanne or Debbie in the background talking to you. You'll hear that through the speakers on the plate. This is very unique in that it is an auto plate, which means there are no settings necessarily. So when you get on it, it automatically starts moving for you. And it does have a remote, but it does not have any buttons on the control panel. So if you don't have the remote, nothing changes on the control panel because it's an automatic plate. In other words, it adjusts to you. And some might like that, and some of you definitely might not like that, especially if you're wanting a customized experience. But on the remote, it's very simple. We have an A button, which states automatic mode. If you click on that button, it'll give you an option to go through 10 different levels of speeds. Level 1 through 3 speeds are more for the gentle detox lymphatic enhancement. Our medium levels is 4 to 6 speed, which is more for toning and enhancing circulation. So it's a little more aggressive than our gentle. And then those of you that are all in, wanting to get deep tissue stimulation, wanting to develop hypertrophy, you're wanting to work on balance, you're wanting to work on strengthening, those are going to be levels 7 through 10 on the speed notch. But you're going to use the plus minus button to figure out where you want to be there, but you cannot make that change on the device. Now, here's the best part. Right now on the Lifepro page, this is only selling for $110. So normally $259. It is not available on Amazon, but if you're wanting a super light, easily portable plate that is cheap, just to do something, simple, or you're just getting started, you wanting to see if it's something that you would adapt to, you got it for kids. This is an easy one to start with. It is 23 inches across by 12.5 inches wide, and it sits up about 4.5 inches tall. As far as frequency and hertz, if you are keeping track of frequencies, this is 7 to 10 hertz. And so the amplitude, which is up and down, is 0 to 10 millimeters, just depending on which program that you're utilizing. So anyways, I wanted to share that with you. I'm going to use it while we're visiting here in just a second, because it's small and mighty, and it allows me to do a little bit of detox. It took me 3 hours to drive here yesterday. I'm here for the next 48 hours. It'll take me another 3 hours to drive back. And weather is much colder up here than it is back home. So I've got to do what I can do in order to keep moving, because there are a couple of things that define as to, or are markers as to, where you are going to be experiencing vitality improvements, or whether you are causing more harm on the body. And that is heart rate, respiration rate. So good, healthy heart, respiration, good lungs, and leg strength. Leg strength is huge. If you don't have good, solid leg strength, you're not absorbing energy through the ground, which vibrates, by the way. And if you can't bring energy into your body through your limbs, then you become stagnant. And stagnation is what causes the disease, tissues that are not at ease. And so movement is medicine. Movement creates fluidity and motion is lotion, lubricating our joints, lubricating our fascial connective tissues, which are really, really deep. I wanted to show you here. I got to go to the International Fascia Congress 2 months ago. It was the first time in the United States. It's been held in several years. These are the top scientists in the world, and how our body heals itself and how it does what it does. And when we're looking at how our body is interconnected, we are truly connected like a series of roots in the foundation of a tree. Our body transfers electricity in a web very similar to these roots through our entire body. And we have more of those electrical connections in our brain than there are all stars in the Milky Way galaxy. There's over 1 trillion electrical synapses providing communication to the rest of our body as to how it should be working and functioning. It is mind-blowing when you really put it together. And so when it comes to how many layers are deep, this is a representation of how deep our connective tissue is within the body, and layer by layer, how it correlates with our skin, our muscle, our vessels, and all the way down to the bone. And what you need to remember is there's fluid stored in that web, and that fluid is what allows our body to heal, transfer energy, and in a lot of ways responsible for genetic mutation. So if that fluid is not mobile, then you're not getting healthy, you're dying. And vibration is the stimulation that mobilizes that fluid within that tissue if you are not moving on your own. So being that I drove for 3 hours yesterday in the same seated position, I needed to make sure that I was stimulating more movement in my body systemic wide. And that's why whole body vibration plates are so powerful for our body to heal. So when we look at fascia, this truly is the secret link in how fascia reshapes itself, how it transfers energy, how it communicates through the electrical system, how it communicates through the garbage disposal system, and how it eliminates the emotional trauma and stress that we put in our body. This is how this is how it's stored. It is stored in the fascia. Vibration releases that so that you don't have to see a therapist to talk it out. And so if we have the ability to use other resources aside from us being able to move, because let's face it, some of you have to sit and work on your computer all day every day, and you don't have an employer that will allow you to take frequent work breaks. Guess what? The Cosmo Plate or the Waver Mini, another one of my favorites, you can put this underneath your desk, you can put your feet on it, and it moves your body for you. It moves your legs for you because you're having to stay in a seated position, which activates the second heart in the human body, which is your gastrocnemius muscle. It's the rocket booster in the calf that pushes everything furthest from the center of our body back upstream so that we don't develop stagnant gunk in our limbs, and then we are blocking good energy from entering into our body so that we can be our best self. Inflammation is related to so many musculoskeletal complaints. Inflammation, that means stuff in your body that should not be in your body that's causing your body to wreak havoc. There are so many autoimmune diseases and musculoskeletal. Guess what? The vibration plate can activate the removal of a lot of that stuff, and it activates the fascia to receive and transfer, and it activates the fascia to break apart its nasty fascial adhesions, which keep you feeling stiff, in pain, unable to move the right way. There's so many great things that this does. So I don't want to get all nerdy on you here because I know some of you are not into nerd mode like I am. These are just some of the stress bucket issues that we have, and this is just a infographic. You're gonna laugh at some of this. This is just an infographic of some of the things that cause a lot of inflammation in our body. These are not a lot of these things are not things that you eat or drink or consume. It is stuff outside of that. But all of this stuff causes our body to break down, causes disease, causes us to get sick, and then we're trying to figure out what we're supposed to do next, whether it's taking a pill or having a surgery or having a procedure or going to a therapist. But guess what? That's what this is for. And that's what the red light therapy is for. I actually brought my red light therapy lamp. So I'm going to share that with you. And I've also got my portable sauna. I just haven't set it up yet because I'm in a different location and just haven't made time to doing it. But I got my steam sauna here, and it'll pop up in about 10 or 15 minutes. And it'll pop up in a very small space. I can sit in it. And technically speaking, I have not tried this yet, but technically speaking, depending on how hot you make your steam sauna, your portable sauna, you actually might be able to put your vibration plate in there with you if it's not too hot, and you can vibe at the same time. So there's a lot of great things that you can travel with. This lamp breaks apart. It's all flexible, and it does all kinds of, like, it comes apart into multiple pieces. But I got the red light therapy on right there. You can shape it to however you want to, like, ta-da, in order to be able to maximize recovery on the road. So yeah, but anyhow, I've got my shoes on today. I normally vibe without shoes on. So I'm going to take my shoes off so that you can check out this new product. This is, again, it's called the Cosmo Plate. They are sold out on Amazon, but we do have some in stock on the Lifepro page. So feel free to check that out. And again, once you get on it, it just kind of automatically starts up on itself. And because I'm trying to maximize time with the time that I have, if I have the red light therapy on, and if I have myself undressed, which I'm not going to do with all of you today, if I have myself undressed, I can receive the red light at the same time that I'm on the plate. So that's up to you if you decide to do that or not. So we're going to turn this on. It is on. And then all you do is you just teeter-totter back and forth, and then it just starts moving for you. It's really pretty cool how it works. Yeah. And it's right now, it's working its way from a level of 1, and it's on speed 2, 3 right now, it's automatically adjusting to my body language. The wider that you go, the more energy you receive. If you don't like that kind of energy and you bring your feet closer together, it's less energy. So it doesn't vibrate your body as much. So the wider you are, the more oscillation you're getting, the more reaction your body gets to the oscillation. Oscillation is more of a teeter-tottering effect, seesawing back and forth. And so if you have a vibration plate at home that has a little runner on it, or it has a walker on it, it's just a visualization to tell you the wider that you go, the more intensity you're going to receive. So if you decide to sit down and just put your feet on it, you can do that. Remember, if you're wanting to experience lymphatic enhancement, you're trying to wind down at the end of your day, you're going to use level 1 through 3 because that's the gentle. If you're wanting to enhance circulation in your body and you're wanting to eliminate restless leg syndrome, which, by the way, these vibration plates will reduce or eliminate restless leg syndrome. I've witnessed it. I have tested it. I truly could write a research paper on it. The pandemic was living proof of that because I was using it with my clients in my gym when we were first launching our vibration plates. I had 4 vibration plates with 75 clients a week using them every single day in my gym. And when the pandemic hit, they didn't have access to any of it. And these are people who had restless leg syndrome and were getting on it every night after their workout before they went home and no longer had restless leg syndrome. And then when the pandemic hit, they all called me like, okay, Amber, I really need you to use that plate because my restless leg syndrome has come back and I'm miserable. And I said, here, this is the code to buy it. It's a lot cheaper than you realize. Use it at home. And then I started making videos for them. And restless leg syndrome went away. Restless leg syndrome happens when you're not moving enough and when the fluid becomes stagnant in the lower extremity because it can't pump back up. So if you have restless leg syndrome, it's because you're not getting the crap out of your legs enough. Okay. But this will fix it. But yes, this is automatically changing for me. And again, when it comes to Bluetooth, if you want to listen to your own music without having to play it on a speaker or having access to your phone, nobody wants to hold their phone the whole time they're on here, or at least I would hope not. It will stream through the speakers that are built inside the vibration plate. But I like it. It's small and it's mighty. It works on tone management, creating muscle. So if you have lost some muscle because of a recent injury or you haven't been to the gym in less than 2 weeks, for every 14 days that you don't exercise, you lose 50% of your muscle gains. 14 days for 50% muscle loss. That's how fast it happens. And if you are in contact with vibration, the way that astronauts are in NASA, it will, or in space, it will re-trigger a muscle enhancement, growth, hypertrophy phase so that you can maintain health through lean muscle mass. It also develops functional strength. So if I wanted to do some Pilates on here with Roseanne on a weeknight, or I have my yoga band here that it comes with, like I can do pull downs and I can hold and get into some nice deep stretches. And so if you have had back pain, SI joint pain, shoulder pain, you can use the enclosed Lifepro yoga band in order to add resistance and maintaining, because changing tensile stretch on the connective tissue allows it to adapt and adjust, which changes the formation of the entire human body. It is all interconnected. Okay. So if you're wanting to improve overall sensory receiving, how your body receives senses, so whether it's through touch, whether it's through smells, whether it's through sight, sounds, all of your senses become enhanced through activation of the nerve cells on the bottom of your feet and on the palms of your hands. And so just standing on this vibration plate changes your sensory input. Oh, by the way, that changes neuroplasticity too. And neuroplasticity is all about changing how quickly your brain reacts to a stimulus and changing the cells. I'm just going through some motions here on a nice, gentle level. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm just doing it because it feels really, really, really good. The other thing that I wanted to make sure and share with you, something I'm talking about tomorrow on our live tomorrow, is how you can use your HSA or FSA funds, pre-tax dollars that you can use for mobility, recovery, and wellness medical expenses. You can use those funds towards Lifepro devices. And I'm going to talk to you about that tomorrow so that you're aware of what qualifies, how to do it, what to look for, and what you need to be aware of when you're trying to use those dollars. And as you can see, I'm getting into some very differential positions here. And we're not going to call it any specific position. It's just like my body's very stiff in certain areas. And this just feels really, really good. So you just get on and go for the ride, enjoy the ride. The cool part about this one, it starts when you start and it stops when you start, and or stops when you stop, and it's got 10 minutes. So just getting on here for 10 minutes. You can strengthen and detox just by standing still. Whether it's shin splints, foot pain, pelvic floor, really anything. If you have to use the bathroom more frequently when you're on here or after you get off here, that's good. That means it's working. Good stuff. Ah, yes. So this is just one of those extra little plates that I wanted to share with. You can put this band underneath of your arches or underneath your Piggly Wigglies, and we can just hinge and pull, and I'm reinforcing through my feet instead of just standing here. I'm actually pressing with my feet into the plates to keep the band in position. And that is another form of total body strengthening without having to use free weights. I'm just forcing the band to stay put using my feet, and it's stimulating the muscles in my feet to work better. Okay, as you remember, if you have not seen the Big Six, how you can open up the lymphatic channels. We can tap or we can circle around the collarbone. That's like the main portal of where our lymphatic system, all traffic flows in and all traffic flows out in the collarbone region. So just a little tappity tap above and below the collarbone. And you want to do these in order. Behind the ear and in the neck and jaw is number 2. What I want to make sure of as well, when it comes to your jaw, if you wear a bite guard at night when you sleep, if you have sleep apnea, if you have frequent headaches, if you have jaw pain, then you also have a pelvic floor problem because your tongue and your jaw are connected to your pelvic floor, which, oh, by the way, your pelvic floor is responsible for how your feet work. So your feet, your pelvic floor, and your jaw are all connected in a very powerful way. And our lymph nodes just happen to fall right below the jawbone in the neck region behind the ear, as does the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is responsible for all systems working in a go, go, go kind of way or in a recovery, restoration, regeneration kind of way. And you can't be doing both at the same time. So I'm just tapping behind my ears and along my jawline to open up those lymphatic zones, because those areas can get blocked with a bunch of clogs, and you don't want to plunge those areas with a toilet plunger or cupping. You just want to give it a little tappy tap. Vibration will help remove and restore that. So zone 1 is collarbone, zone 2 is jaw and the neck region, jaw. Number 3 is here in the shoulder and in the pec region and the armpits. So tap through the chest, tap into the armpit. You can do circles. You want to work both sides of the body. 75% of all the fluid lymphatic function happens on the left side of the body. 25% happens on the right side of the body, but you want to make sure that you're clearing both. So give a little tappy tap. Doesn't take much time. And from there, then we go to our tummy. And tummy is really easy. You don't have to go clockwise necessarily. Just remember circles and spirals or taps. Traditional Chinese medicine says 25 to 50 taps will clear it. So just 25 to 50 taps, and those lymph nodes are just right underneath the skin, so it doesn't take anything deep. You want to keep your tissues and your stimulation right on top, and you don't want to press deep and you don't want to press hard. Just lots and lots of taps. You can go in a circle motion if you want to, but we're enhancing the lymphatic system to help the liver to detox. If you have a clog in the lymphatic system, you have a liver problem. If you have an autoimmune issue, or if you have been diagnosed with a sinus infection, you have to make sure that you are pampering your liver, because it is what's responsible for you getting rid of all that crap. Okay, the other one is right here in the groin. So where the crease is on the groin, just do some circles where your groin crease is, or you can do a little patty pat. Inner thigh, this is a heavy traffic blockage area. Good. Plane going by at the moment. I'm located right by the Notre Dame airport. There we go. And then right behind the knees. Give them a little pat right behind the knees. And those are your big six. Super easy, right? If you decide that you want to do dry brushing, I covered how to do dry brushing routine and the benefits of dry brushing last week. And we've got just 1 minute left here in which we can receive free vibration without having to think about it. It's good stuff. If you decide that you want to change your speed levels, again, you can go into auto mode and you can change the settings based on your remote. So I like a little more energy. I'm one of those, even though lymphatic should be gentle for a lot of people, levels 1 to 3, if I'm not itching by the time I get off of here, I know I've not tapped into my lymphatic system to break free some of the stuff, because the lymphatic system, when you enhance and you stimulate the histamine response, you will start itching, you will get a rash, you will get red skin, you'll just feel different. You might feel a little nauseated, you might feel like you have to use the bathroom, or you could feel a little more gassy because everything's shifting. But I don't like to get off here unless I know I've tapped into that histamine response, or that lymphatic system is really working better. And that is a different response for everybody. Some people, it takes several sessions to start to itch because there's so much junk in the trunk. There's so much blockages and layers thick. So just enjoy the ride, because whether you feel the itching happen or not, your connective tissue, your fascia, and your muscles and your hormones are still benefiting just from being on the vibration plate. So if you don't already have one, you need to get one. And right now, up until New Year's is the best time to get one, because they're rock bottom dollar pricing, like super cheap, and cheapest, lowest prices of the year. The Revivify, we've got a mini portable steam room, and then we've got another one of these that's one notch different, and it's the deluxe tent. I'll be putting those together next here in another 2 weeks after I get back from Whitefish, Montana, in which I will show you the differences. I also have 3 of our Lifepro full-size saunas, the Hemlock Canadian wood saunas. I've got 3 of those in my gym, in which I will be putting those together through the month of November and showcasing the differences. So if you're wanting to get a sauna, what research is showing right now for healthy aging is that you need to be in a sauna every week. And not everybody can afford a membership to going to a facility where you can have access to a sauna. But if you can get yourself in a sauna every single week, it slows dysfunctional aging down. It restores collagen and stimulates stem cell regeneration. It helps with brain health. It helps with our lymphatic system. It helps with our blood flow. It reduces the onset of cardiovascular disease and diabetes for a lot of people, from what the research is showing. And it goes all the way back to the 1800s. Saunas are nothing new. It goes all the way back to the 1800s in the literature of ancient holistic Eastern medicine. I've been researching Eastern medicine for several years. I became a victim of Western medicine 20 years ago this month, and Eastern medicine is what saved my life 20 years ago. And now I've become an expert in it. So if you don't already have a portable sauna, and you can use one of our portable sauna blankets. If you do have the BioRemedy sauna blanket, they had a recall on that this last week. You just need to contact our customer service, in order to get yourself a replacement remote, because the remote on there is what they had to recall, and they'll send you a totally different remote so that your blanket will continue to work for you. But our portable sauna blankets are like a sleeping bag, basically, of infrared coils. And so you don't have to have a stand-up sauna to being able to enjoy the benefits of infrared light technology, which is anti-aging, or what we can call healthy aging. We can't keep from aging, but we can age healthy. We can age and enjoy as much of our life as we have left without breaking down on a cellular basis, because we don't have the resources to help our body. And with all the research and innovations that are now available, there are so many ways that you can help your body to continue to thrive as we age forward without feeling like it. So that's what it's all about. If you do need to get a hold of our customer service department, we are open 9 to 9 weekdays and 10 to 3 weekends Eastern Standard Time. You can give them a call at 800-563-6604. Again, 9 to 9 weekdays, 10 to 3 on the weekends Eastern Standard Time. 800-563-6604. If you have a problem, please give us a chance to help you in making it right, because our customer service is truly world-class, extraordinary, and all of our products have a lifetime warranty. So if anything breaks down, remotes quit working, your product came without a remote. I actually had a phone call on that last week that somebody received a product and the remote was missing. Owner's manual wasn't in there, or operational manual wasn't in there. Maybe you got a gift. You bought it at a garage sale and you need the owner's manual. We can email you a PDF file, the owner's manual. We can send you a replacement remote if it's missing. But don't hesitate to reach out. If you prefer email, it is support@lifeprofitness.com, support@lifeprofitness.com. And this is just wonderful. So that's a little bit about our Cosmo plate. Again, automatic in how it works, and just a great product in itself. And because I reset it, it's going to continue to run a little bit. But it does come with this yoga band so that you can do some different exercises. And I got the red light therapy light here. What makes the Lumaglow way cool is it also works for reading. So if you're wanting a reading light, there are several levels of how bright the white light can get. So if you're looking for an extra light fixture in your house, being able to read or write or use social media, if you're trying to go live, makes great lighting on the camera so that you can be seen. You can use it for that, or you can use it for red light. And there are 2 different levels of red light, highs and lows, and it's on a weighted plate, so it doesn't tip over very easily to disassemble and put back together. But the buttons are super easy to tap on and off. And again, if you're just wanting something for reading, you can adapt and adjust it however you want to be able to have extra light. And so you're multitasking it. So it's pretty cool. But I threw this in the back of my SUV and traveled with it here so that I can have the best of all things and being able to make a difference, not only in broadcasting, but also in being able to experience the benefits of red light when it comes to aging younger as the years roll on. So I'm living my youngest life right now, and Lifepro is a huge part of that. Habits and thinking is the other part of it. So you got to make sure that you're keeping your mind right, that you're recognizing gratitude. And remember, the month of November is all about giving thanks, gratitude, and preparing for, those different gatherings and preparing for a new year. You get to celebrate a new year. And so I'm truly grateful and humbled to be able to share this time with you, because time is the one thing money can't buy and that you can't get back. So it's quite valuable. If you have questions on any of the detox episodes, don't hesitate to post in the comment box, because I go back through and look at a lot of the questions, and then I'll chime in or do another live in the future as to which products you might be needing or interested in to being able to feel better. And yeah, so it's good stuff. If you are confused as to which one of our products might best benefit you, don't hesitate to reach out there either. We've got Debbie, Roseanne, and I, and we've got customer service helpers on the backside who can answer some of your questions as to which one of the plates might be more beneficial for you. My personal favorite is our Rumble X Plus 4D. I like the more motors you got, the more angles you can hit that connective tissue, that fascia, to restructure it, reshape it, detox it, mobilize hyaluronin, and just feel good. So, but anything is better than nothing. So try and get yourself going on something if you don't already have something. I'm going to let you all go so that you can go and enjoy this beautiful day. And I've got more work ahead of me here in Notre Dame country. So thank you all so much for watching. And I will look forward to seeing you next time. Have a great day.